I am outside today. I know it's not a sunny day, but it's still nice enough to sit outside. There's lots of birds in my trees. Can you hear them? So today I'm doing something a little different. It's gonna get kind of messy and probably kind of weird. So I really want to make like a sculpture. And I know you guys love clay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig up some clay from my yard, and you can do it too. So we live in the great state of Texas, and East Texas is well known for having sandy and clay soil. So dig a little bit in your backyard. Ask your parents, of course. Dig a little bit in your backyard, get through that first layer of sand, and underneath you might find something that's kind of red and wet and sticky, and that, my friends, is clay. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna dig in my garden, and I don't have to ask my parents because it's my garden. So I'm gonna dig a little bit of my garden. I'm gonna find some clay, extract some clay from the ground, and then I'm going to show you guys how to clean it up. And hopefully we can make something cool out of it. So just keep watching. Okay guys, so this is my garden. Let me show you around real fast. Lots of plants, lots of cool stuff. I'm just gonna find a spot to dig that's kind of not in the middle of things. So how about over here next to this pot? This will be fine. So just like I said, I'm just gonna dig. The top layer is kind of sandy, so just take your shovel, kind of just dig, and then let's just see what we can get. Okay, so you notice how much lighter it is now. That's because now we're getting into some better dirt for clay. So I'm just going to keep digging, and I have a bowl here, and I'm just going to dig up some of this and save it. So sorry if my camera goes a little crazy while I'm doing this. I think that might be enough dirt. Just get as much as you want. It should kind of stick together already. Let's see. Good job. So just grab it and kind of squeeze it, and if it holds together, you have found yourself some clay. But this is very dirty. I don't want to make an art project out of this. So the next step is going to be how to get this into something that we might actually want to use to make art. So we got to clean it. Yuck. Okay guys, so now we are inside in my kitchen, and things are about to get dirty. So we are going to try to clean this dirt, actually. This clay. You will need the large bowl that your dirt and clay is already in. You will need a second large bowl. Plastic is great because if you drop it, it's not going to break. You will need some kind of sifter. This is a strainer. It's got really, really small holes. So if you can find one with really, really, really small holes, that is the best, because that will help get out all the little bitty rocks and all the little bitty nasty things that are in this that are making it not worthy to make something cool out of. So you need one of those. You need a towel. I'm using a brown towel because, well, my dirt is brown and the dirt's going to be all over this towel. So whatever towel you use is going to be very dirty, and it might not come all the way clean depending if you use a white towel. So don't ruin your parents' towels. Use a dirty, an old towel or something dark like this. Look, this one's even got bleach stains. So this is kind of just a whatever kitchen towel. You'll also need some kind of, this is actually an elastic, which means it's very stretchy. I don't know if you can see this. Very stretchy. So you need some kind of either string or elastic or rubber, like big rubber band. It needs to fit around your bowl. So actually, I'm not sure right yet if I'm going to finish up in this bowl or this bowl. It just depends on how much water I have. That's another thing you need. You need access to a sink and water. You'll also need a trash can because it might get a little messy. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this bowl of water, this bowl of clay, and put some water in it, and we're going to mix it around in the water until the clay is all dissolved in the water. We're basically making a solution. This is kind of a science experiment also. So hold. It's probably enough. We're just going to kind of reach in and break up the clumps. You'll find rocks, you'll find grass and stuff. Just kind of break it up as best as you can. Mix it around. We want all of the dirt to get mixed into the water so that it's a suspension, which means all the pieces of dirt are floating around in the water. They're not just sitting on the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to bring my other bowl and the strainer over here, and I'm going to pour this mixture into the red bowl through the strainer. So hold on. All right, so here's my red bowl and my strainer, and we are just going to take this. I'm going to mix, hold on. Yeah, I gotta stir it up a little bit more. It settled a little bit. All right, so let it stir it and then pour it in. And you want to get all of it. Okay. And you do this with both hands. I'm one-handed because I'm filming this for you guys. I'll do this in the water so that all of the little bitty particles can get unstuck. But all of this stuff that's stuck in here, yeah, that's trash. We don't want that. So we're going to put that in the trash can. Right, so I threw that away and I rinsed out my original bowl. So it is, rinsed out now. So I am going to stir this up and do it again. So just... Okay, so this next part is where you're going to use the towel. Remember, old, something that doesn't matter if it's dirty or stained, and either a string, a rubber band, a piece of elastic, something to hold the towel onto the bowl. We're just going to use this, a smaller bowl, because all of that fits really well in here. So, just some camera malfunctions. What you're going to do, and I switched to a clear bowl so that you guys could see what happens. What you're going to do is take your towel and just lay it over. And my towel is wet. It doesn't matter if your towel is wet or dry for this. It was dry, but yeah, now it's wet. So, and you're going to take your elastic or your string or your rubber band, and you're going to attach your towel to the bowl with it. So it's going to go all the way around. So let me just do that off camera. So you see how it's just going all the way around. It's not super tight. It's just holding it on there. So that it doesn't go all the way in. And I'm going to take my gooey stuff and just do your fingers in it. I love it. Look, it's so gross. You could do this with a spoon. You can mix it up with a spoon, but I like to use my hands because I like to feel how much is stuck to the bottom. So we want it all to be suspended in the water again. This is, we're making a suspension of clay and water, and we're trying to extract the clay now from the water. So we're stirring it, and it goes down to the bottom really fast. It sinks quickly. So stir it up fast. You hand drip for a second, pick this up, and pour it through the rag into the other bowl. Ooh, slowly so you don't make a mess, like I did. Slowly and carefully. Make sure all of it goes in there. Okay. So, And I am working on a cutting board so that my mess is kind of contained. You might want to do that. So you're going to let this sit. The water will slowly drip out from the top of the bowl into the bottom, and the clay will be left on top. So look at all that water that's already come out already. So it's going to just keep going. More and more and more water is going to come out and separate, and eventually, probably at the end of the day, you will have a bunch of clay left on the rag, and you'll have to scrape it off with a spoon to get it off of the towel, and then you can just put that in a little bag. I have already done that, so let me show you what I made yesterday. All right, so after, I guess this has been 2 days. I think this has been on the counter for 2 days. And it has settled quite a lot. This is a different batch than what you just saw me make. So let's look at the side. Can you see those layers? So at the bottom, you can see it's much darker. That is the clay. At the top, all of that water is just water. It's just dirty water. And what you didn't see me do is I took the rag off the top, and I took a spoon and I scraped up all the clay that was on the rag. It was stuck to the rag, and I put it in this little bag. And we'll look at that in just a second. But with this, so what you can do is you can let it sit for longer, and maybe even put it outside and let the water evaporate, which means the water will dry up and leave just the clay in the bottom of the bowl here. The safest thing to do would just be to let this sit outside in the heat and let it evaporate. And then in the meantime, we can play with what's in this bag. Got a paper towel because this clay is very wet still. And it's not a whole lot, right? That's not a lot. It looks kind of gross. Let me pull out of the bag. Hold on. So I'm looking at this and realizing how much like poop it looks. So I'm going to let it sit on this paper towel a little bit, and the paper towel is going to remove even more of the moisture because it is very wet. It's kind of muddier than clay should be right now. But if you squeeze it, I mean, it holds its shape. It is clay. It's just very wet. So take your paper towel, kind of squash it, and it's clay, so it's messy and it looks gross. It's way too wet to do anything with because it's so sticky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just lay it here. Alright, that's already better. See, it's not sticking to my hands so much. If it sticks to your hands, it needs to have some of the moisture taken out. So, let's see here. I want to see if I can make something out of this. I want to see, maybe I can make a pinch pot. So with the pinch pot, all you do is you stick your thumb right in your clay. You make a hole. Don't go all the way to the bottom. You don't want to poke a hole in it. And then you just gently pinch all the way around. And this is little bitty. I know it's tiny, but it's kind of fun. You just pinch all the way around until it has walls like a bowl, and it's standing up on its own. Right, so this is going to be very fragile and very wet. What you'll need to do with this is put this somewhere where it's going to get warmed by the sun, and it's going to turn hard, hopefully like a rock. Mine is flopping over because it's probably still too wet. And you might have that problem, so just keep drying it off with a paper towel, and you can like take it apart and just wash it back together. That's the cool thing about clay, it just molds back together. So just make something out of your clay. You don't even have to make a bowl. You can make a face. Let's see. I'll take some of this off. All right. Oh dear. Awesome. You can. There's one eye. There's the other eye. And I'm just going to use a mechanical pencil here. We can draw smiley face. Give him eyeballs. How about a nose? Let's give him a nose. Perfect. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put him on a paper towel, put him outside on the patio in the sun, and let him dry. I'll take a picture of him once he's dry and show him to you guys. Let me see your mud clay experiments too, okay, guys? He's cute, huh? Yeah. In kind of a gruesome way.